saying we hit on 2 running backs and flopped on all of our quarterbacks.
All of them, every single one.
Right. Okay, so
you know there's a reason why quarterbacks get paid.
There's
a reason why quarterbacks get paid a lot more money than running backs.
Right, and then you also end up in situations where you have Matt Stafford being a top 5 paid quarterback and everybody else sucks.
Right, but the problem
that's
is
decision making.
Right,
that's decision making.
And you can't let the quarterback go. You can't let the
Who would
quarterback
you rather
go.
have Matt? Who would you rather pay, Matt Ryan or Ezekiel Elliott? You.
Matt Ryan.
Or Ezekiel
if I was
Elliott.
who? The Falcons.
If you were the Falcons,
Matt
and
Ryan.
I have to pay Matt Ryan.
I was curious to see what you said because I know you hate Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
if you would have said Ezekiel,
no, then
Elliott,
I'd be disingenuous.
I would have been like, so Matt Ryan's not better than Dak Prescott.
Right, yeah. No. I would take the quarterback because you have to.
Right.
A good quarterback is better than an elite running back.
We built, like I said,
that's why if any of these quarterbacks that got drafted last year are good, the Giants.
Saquon could be a Hall of Famer. If Sam Darnold makes it to one Super Bowl and even loses it, that was a bad pick.
We will always have different philosophies. Like I said, Russell Wilson won the Super Bowl when the Seahawks had an elite run game and elite defense. When things transitioned, when he became the best player.
Yes.
They now no longer are They're no longer
they made the
Super Bowl
last year.
but they're not Super Bowl. They're not Super Bowl.
Well, just because you don't have a Super Bowl talented team around.
Look,
you,
but they were when they had weaker quarterback and a better everything.
But remember Tavares Jackson, right? That they had before. Okay, so you're telling me when it comes up the point now that you have to pay Russell Wilson, you're not paying him? You're gonna let him go?
Again, because they had to give up Lane, the
dude they just traded. Yeah.
I have told you my philosophy is build defense, build your running game, and
they're
you can
never
plug
paying
in.
that
So who is behind Russell Wilson that's going to help you carry your team? You know, if you let Russell Wilson go, you're going back to rebuilding a little bit.
Again, given all things are there, I do not agree with dumping all your money into one player. I will never agree with that. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL. He's elite. Everything else is meh. Aaron Rodgers is not winning a Super Bowl, period. Peyton Manning was far better as a quarterback.
See, but that's where you're wrong because they have cap space to put they've had the cap space.
They've
had
had
cap space now. They have cap
fine.
space now.
Peyton Manning was by far the best quarterback in the league. Had no defense. Run game was, when they had Joseph Adai, it was like, man, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Tom Brady took discounts. He took discounts. Granted, he took discounts.
Brady did take discounts.
No, he's getting paid. He's a top 5 paid quarterback. He's always the way the contract is structured, he's always gotten his money. People think Tom Brady has never taken a discount. He's restructured his deal, and people say, oh, he restructured his deal. He must have taken a discount. No, they gave him his money up front. They signed him a fucking $30 million check. Here you go.
A lot of these elite quarterbacks won when they had all the other pieces in place.
Well, yeah.
Give it in a lot of situations, these quarterbacks will take all the money. They're not cap friendly, and these teams will.
Who?
No, okay.
Who?
So hold on, time out. Are you saying that if you have an elite, so okay, let's say I just won the Super Bowl, right? And I have an option.
No, you haven't won the Super Bowl.
No.
You're trying to make a run at the Super Bowl.
Well, okay. All right. So because I'm in the off season and I have to pay people now, right? So I have an elite defense. If I let some players on my defense go, right, I can sign my quarterback and lock him in.
But you don't.
How good is your quarterback?
Has to do that.
How good is your quarterback?
Nobody has to do that now.
I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand the thought process here.
If you have a straight quarterback, then you get to the point. So you're like, look, I want to keep my defense. You would let an elite quarterback go. Not an elite quarterback go.
You would let Russell Wilson go. You would let Russell Wilson go in order to keep that defense.
Their defense is an elite.
No, when it was before he got paid, because he got paid again the second time he got paid.
Yeah.
Well, he never really got.
He got paid the second time, and now he wanted.
Why were they making such a big deal about that?
Because he wanted a deal
up this year.
Yeah, he wanted a deal before he started the season. Because if he got hurt, he'd be stuck.
Okay,
again,
Russell Wilson
but
your argument's invalid because no team is in cap trouble.
It's not invalid. There's an overall philosophy here.
Right.
Granted, so the Seahawks. The reason why you can't just do those things is because they didn't draft well to replace a lot of the players who were.
No. I understand.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, I'm not talking about any of that.
Right.
I'm saying you have an option now where you have to pick the defense or you have to pick the quarterback.
I'll pick the defense.
So then you would then expect. So then essentially you would end up being the Jaguars, because if you don't have a quarterback that's behind him that's better than Blake Bortles, right?
Right.
Or they're somewhat decent, then you're going to run into the same situation where yes, you can make a run. Hold on, because we made a run. Jaguars made a run. And we got to the end, but then the next season we were trash.
The only way,
such an incompetent fucking quarterback.
But the only way to have sustained success in the NFL is to have a quarterback. You can have a defense. Look, the Ravens had the best defense probably of all time, right? How long did that last? 2-3 years.
Right, and then when
the Denver Broncos, when they had Peyton Manning, had the second best defense I've ever seen. How long did that last? 2 years. The Seahawks, 3 years.
People have to get paid.
Super Bowl.
Because it's harder to keep a unit together than have a player.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a whole unit, and they're all gonna. If the defense,
I understand both.
If the defense is elite, look at the Jags. Jalen Ramsey, best corner in the league, right? Yannick, probably a top 10 defensive end. Yeah. Telvin Smith was a top 10 linebacker. Myles Jack is going to be a top 10 linebacker. All those guys. They're not keeping all of them.
Like I said, different philosophies.
The defense is going to be good.
I get a lot of quarterbacks get paid. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks get paid, and I've seen, and it wasn't until at some point they were able to. I mean, look at the Saints. Saints were productive when they had a great defense and a great run game. Of course, Drew Brees is Drew Brees.
Right. They had everything.
When their defense fell apart, the Saints were choked.
That's also not fair because you're talking about a whole unit. Like, guess what? Defensive ends are getting paid quarterback money now. So
if you strip everything away, I understand what you're
right. Once you strip it all away,
I understand.
Still gonna suck.
Okay. So Jalen's gonna get $100 million plus. He's gonna get a quarterback contract.
Yeah.
You gonna pay Jalen?
Yes, I'm gonna pay Jalen
to sacrifice everything else on the defense.
You see, okay.
See,
again,
that's the problem. It's not about the position; it's about the percentage of the cap for you.
Right, but we're looking at it as if the entire defensive that there's multiple. You can have an elite unit without having 4 players
but eventually those players are going to want to get paid good ones.
Right.
Because they're going to look good in the defense.
Right. And you will need to draft. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Assuming that you are able to draft to replenish your unit.
Yeah.
That's everything.
But that's drafting. That's the main component to winning.
Again, I said overall philosophy here.
Because what the problem is that we're arguing philosophy.
I will draft to repair my defensive unit.
But what we're saying, it's easier to draft defensive players than draft a quarterback every time you lose a quarterback.
Yeah. See,
but so
different philosophy.
Right. So if it was me, right. Just because I have a quarterback doesn't mean I'm not going to draft quarterbacks, right? So because I want somebody, which I want to see if I have somebody behind him. So then, if it comes to the point that I have to pay him,
well, that's what the Patriots do.
If the guy's good enough, right? Yeah. If the guy's good enough, then I'll let my quarterback go and put the next guy up and then keep going. I think is that what you're saying? Like, I would do that.
A big thing that I think is being overlooked here is where I'm saying elite quarterbacks with weak units. You can have an elite quarterback.
That's not on the quarterback.
I get it's not on the quarterback. However, if I don't have a defense, I don't have a strong run game, but I have a quarterback who can light up the numbers, who is due for a huge payday, I'm not going to pay him.
So you'll just be like, I'm going to be bad, and then I'm going to start over.
Right, because the same thing you said. It's hard. You said it's hard to draft an elite quarterback. I understand that. It's also hard to pay an elite quarterback and then draft an entire defense.
True.
Or use that remaining cap space to replace it with a bunch of defensive units.
You're going towards the same thing. You're just going about it 2 different ways. You would keep the quarterback and try to draft the defense. You're saying that you would let the quarterback go and keep the defense and then try to see if I can draft the replacement. If I'm letting my starting quarterback go, that means that I think I have somebody behind him that's decent enough to carry the team.
You have to because you can't.
So I think you're not saying that you wouldn't have anybody behind him.
The same way you guys are saying that, are you assuming that the backup guy is going to be good? It's the same way. It's the same thing I'm saying that you're assuming that these quarterbacks have good defenses.
Yeah.
I'm saying a good quarterback and everything else sucks. But he does put some good numbers with his receivers.
Yeah.
I'm not paying you because at the end of the day, We're not gonna win.
So the only thing
I can't rebuild.
I'm not saying your argument is invalid. I'm saying if you do that,
you can get lucky like the Saints did. The Saints weren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Drew Brees was still putting up the numbers, but the Saints were losers. They were not winning. On defense. And then they hit on key points on defense. Yeah. And what happened? I think they're Super Bowl candidates. But how many times are you gonna hit in one? In one draft?
So let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Both of the ways that you have the routes that you're going at would guarantee him his job, and you could get fired.
Yeah.
You could get fired.
Yep.
That's the difference because
that's another reason why
you got teams
get paid.
And that's why they get paid because they're like, I want to keep my job.
I told you, I don't agree with that. Yeah. I get it. Self-preservation is the biggest motivation.
And you're looking at he's like, I'm going for broke. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I get
I'm looking at it as an owner. You're looking at it as a GM.
Yeah. It's also why bad teams stay losing because fucking Dave Caldwell. He wants to preserve his job, so he signed Nick Foles.
Yep.
Look,
when he probably should have
right or wrong, I don't know.
I see,
right or wrong, I don't know.
I see good quarterbacks.
They signed Nick Foles. They're gonna draft a tackle tomorrow, and they're gonna roll with that.
I don't think you guys. I am not a fan of purgatory.
I'm not either.
We understand,
which is why I would do. The last thing I want is an elite quarterback,
and I'm getting bounced in the first round of the playoffs every year
with nothing.
You don't want to be the Lions.
I want that.
Rather be the Lions, you'd rather be somebody that's bad.
I don't want that.
That's the GM's fault for not being able to put things around the quarterback.
But that's also the Packers. That's also
okay. But the Packers aren't. They got one of the most cap space in the fucking league. They can't put shit around Aaron Rodgers because they can't draft.
Right. Yeah.
That's not the cap. That's not Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers' salary does not have anything to do with that.
Right. That's okay.
Andrew Luck. The Colts have the most cap space in the whole league. Andrew Luck signed the biggest deal in the history of the league 3 years ago.
Right.
Well, that's because
their offensive line is dirt cheap right now, and it's legit as fuck.
Right, and they're gonna be able to afford to pay them.
See, there's a lot of factors that can make either argument.
Right, but that's the reason why you can't. That's why overall the argument is not a good one because.
The overall philosophy is just different. We can both sit
y'all
can make different examples to why it makes sense.
Right.
If the Colts did not draft
definition of purgatory.
The rookie defensive player and that offensive line did not hit, then they'll have a great quarterback and a team that sucks. No, I'm talking about dude who led the tackles. The
linebacker. Yeah.
They'll have an elite quarterback and everything else will suck. And guess what? They'll be 4-12. Luckily, they got lucky in a lot.
And that's what Tong's banking on. He's banking on that. Yeah, I got the quarterback. I'm going to be able to draft and put him
right. And I'll be the Seahawks. I'll rather just hope I get a 3rd round quarterback or the 49ers will call it Kaepernick was elite.
Right, but your way is more risky.
That's way more.
Right,
that's
right.
Way
my
more
way takes longer.
That's way more risky than.
It's risky.
I would be
if you hit on Russell Wilson, you're a genius.
So I guess the best way to make and settle this argument is if me and Tom were both assistant head coaches and we were looking for head coaching opportunities. Mm-hmm. I will pick the team that's picking in the top 5 that has a good defense and no quarterback that's been sucking. You will pick the team that has elite quarterback and you need to put pieces around him. That's the job. So I would take my job. He will take his job.
Because he'll be like, I'm just going to draft defensive players. You'll be like, I'm just going to draft the quarterback.
That keeps things even, that if one of us is wrong, we'll get fired at the same time. I have the same amount of time to find a quarterback as he does to rebuild the entire defense.
It's just that he gets the opportunity to make more. He has more chances on more things. Where it's like,
I would say he has more chances.
If he does, actually, if
he has 3 years, get pieces around Aaron Rodgers, or you're fired.
If you get a job and you have an elite quarterback,
you
have way more pressure than not having a quarterback.
Right.
That's why GMs want their own quarterback.
So he's getting fired first.
Yeah, if you can't build a team around Aaron Rodgers, you're gonna get fired.
So talk about self-preservation. I'm keeping my job while you're gonna be working for me as an assistant.
If you need to.
Tom's gonna be my assistant.
I may have.